So in this video, we are going to look at a few basic rules for differentiation involving the power rule. And we kind of did some of this already when we did the power rule. So the constant multiple rule is that if we're taking the derivative of a constant times a function f of x, we can pull out the function, the constant, and then take the derivative of f of x and just multiply it by the constant. And that's only if it's a constant in front, which means it's a number. So for example, for this first one where it says differentiate, our constant or our coefficient is 4. And if we want to take the derivative, okay, so you can think of it of two ways. You can just have the 4 there and you multiply it by the derivative of x to the 5th. So we bring down the 5. We have x, and then again, we subtract 1. Now, most students, once we get comfortable with this, is we just multiply the number, the coefficient, by the exponent. So it's 20x to the 4th. And especially as we go along, that's generally how I do it. I won't show that I'm multiplying them. So this is the same idea. Okay, I have a root. Again, anytime I have a root, I have to first change it to an exponent. So again, this is 1 and the index is 4. So this becomes x to the 1/4. The exponent becomes the numerator, the index on the root becomes the denominator, and then I can take the derivative. When I take the derivative, again, I use the derivative notation. So I put the apostrophe on it, and you should always be labeling your derivatives. And so I'd have 4 times this exponent, which is 1/4, and then x to the 1/4 minus 1. 4 times 1/4 is 1. So I just have x. You can write the 1, but we don't need it. And then 1/4 minus 1 is -3/4. Okay. And again, if they ask you to simplify, then this would go into the denominator. And the number again that we write here is 1. So that's what goes in the numerator. And if you had to rewrite it as a root again, it would be 1 over the 4th root of x cubed. Okay, this is always the index on the root. This is the exponent on the variable. And then c is kind of the same thing. I want to take the derivative. So my coefficient front is really like 2/3, and I move the x to the numerator by making it a negative exponent. And then when I take the derivative, I'm going to multiply 2/3 by that exponent, and then I'm going to subtract 1. Again, with negatives, please be careful. It's easy to make a mistake. So when we multiply fractions again, we put this over 1, and then we multiply our numerators. So 2 times -4 is -8, our denominator, so it's 3, and then this would be x to the -5th. And if we wanted to get rid of the negative exponent, it would be 3x to the 5th in the denominator. This x, the -5th, would go to the denominator. Okay, so that's how we do the power rule when we have a constant in front. So that's one of our rules.